and welcome to Sullivan's Farm. I hope you've eaten enough and drank enough and you're ready to work it all off there now in the new year with the new me and the new this and the new that and the new other. There's always plenty of chances to work it off with the pulling and dragging around here anyway. You would have seen in the last video that we picked out a few more Weanlings from this bunch outside and put them into the shed. The hope then was that the 21 that were left outside would have enough here to keep them going, say, until they could go out to grass around the last week of February or the first week of March. I'm just dropping my little bits and pieces here. But they're still getting through a bale every 2 days. So based on the number of bales outside and the amount of fodder rape in the field, they'll probably get to about the middle of February, maybe towards the end, but no further than that. So we need to look at a couple of options there. It'll be all dependent on the weather. I might be able to bring them out a few bales, keep them ticking over to kind of reach the finish line, or they might have to go into the shed. We'll just have to figure it out when the time comes. But it's just dawned on me there now when I was doing a few sums. If anybody had any suggestions, again, throw them into the comments below. As you saw in the last video, I cleaned out a bit of the dung, or cleaned out all the dung, with the grab of the loader. But it was kind of awkward, and as a couple of you suggested, I must maybe get a bucket loader instead of the grab. But a neighbour, I think, has one. I must talk to him about it, but I guess what I want to check is whether there are those Euro brackets on it or not, so it could slip off and on easily enough. The tractor is going very well overall, apart from this orange flashing light, which has been on there the last couple of weeks at this stage. But apparently it's something to do with the clutch or the forward and reverse handle here. I was onto the garage about it, and the man said whenever he's passing he'll have a look at it, but it's nothing too serious. We've enough straw for the cattle and the calves that'll be bought next March, and it's obviously great for animal thrive and animal welfare, and it creates the dung that's going to do a job on the ground and save us a few quid on fertiliser. But there's a fair bit of work involved in trying to keep the shed clean where the cattle are now, and same with the calves, and getting the bales of straw into them. So what I was thinking there, after a couple of cans or a couple of hot whiskies or wine or whatever else was going over Christmas there, is that I can't rule out other options. What I was thinking about then, in one of those lighter moments, was to maybe dig out the bottom half of the shed here. It's a concrete floor. Underneath there's 4 spans in it. It's divided in 2 by a gate halfway up there at the moment. So what I was wondering was maybe if I got a rock breaker in and broke up the concrete and dug down, put a tank in and slats on top, that might be an option. Now it's high enough. I won't stand out because it's kind of breezy. God forbid you couldn't hear me. But it's high enough to get a digger in. So if the man on the digger was anyway tidy at all, there shouldn't really be an issue with hitting the shed. Probably another whiskey or 2 or a can later, I was thinking, sure, geez, wouldn't it be a terror to go breaking up that concrete and having to get a rock breaker in, because the ground is hard. Like the sheds here are up on a bit of a height, so you wouldn't be digging into clay. You'd be hitting rock fairly fast. I was thinking then maybe extending that's the far down end of the 3rd span of the cubicles, and maybe building out from here and putting in 3 spans there, rather than breaking up the concrete inside in the yard. Like there's clay or mostly stone around here that needs to be cleared away anyway, and I guess you'd be kind of starting with a greenfield site as such, or half a greenfield site anyway, with the back wall in place already. The wind comes from behind it, so it'd be facing out the right way. It wouldn't get caught in the wind and the rain or the snow or anything like that. But obviously it'd be an extra cost. And like, don't ask me where any of the money is coming from for any of this. I haven't got to that part of it yet. But if you had any thoughts, whether to dig inside, dig up the concrete with the roof that's there in place already, or start from scratch out here and kind of think 10 or 15 years ahead rather than 5 years ahead, throw them into the comment section below. I'd be interested in what people's thoughts were. That's it then for this video. Thanks for watching and liking and subscribing and all the usual stuff. And a final thought. Look, it's the darkest time of the year, but the longest night is behind us. So see, getting a bit optimistic as the rain comes down. Another week and we'll notice the evenings are a little bit brighter. Another week after that, you'll see the mornings are a little bit brighter. So sure, look, how tough. There's a bit of blue sky on the way, and let me know what you think about the sheds. Or shade, whichever option we'll go for. There'll be no decision taken lightly, but if you had any ideas or any comments, throw them in below and mind yourselves. Good luck.